Update. My personal trainer is a woman. So, a day or two ago I made a post about my personal trainer being a woman and that my girlfriend was not happy. A lot of helpful advice was said and I thank the people of this subreddit. Some of said advice mentioned projection of cheating, and I had a look as I had my suspicions. Lo and behold, there it was. Now, I'm not one to snoop phones. It's a breach of privacy, but insecurity was eating me up and I thought to myself, if I find nothing, it's nothing. If I do, I confront. But I had found some fun texts. One to her friend about how hot a guy is and that she wants 2 dicks before she settles. Now, this is a 3-year relationship. But anyways, her friends and her joke about shit like that all the time. I didn't think much of it so I did some scrolling. Found pics of the guy they were talking about. It's a guy she knows. This guy added her on Snapchat a while ago and when it happened he was clearly trying to get in her pants. I decided to check that and found they had been snapping. It was her mistake for saving his WhatsApp. I didn't find WhatsApp on her phone originally and found out she hid it on her phone. With iPhone you can now remove apps off the home screen. I opened WhatsApp and found their texts. Boy were they texts. They all seemed super flirty, they had FaceTimed and called, he even said he was looking for a roommate. I found out that she had gotten left behind by her cousins at the club and was scared, so she called and texted him. He picked her up. They were planning on meeting last weekend but something's came up. Regardless if she fucked him or not, the intent was there. Last night, I turned my back as I had fucked up my leg at work. I turned to my left side as my right leg was in absolute pain. She was drunk and got pissed I was turning away from her and thought I was going to sleep. She snowballed herself into getting angrier and angrier and I snapped. I was tired of it. She started bullying me about my trainer again and how I'm probably going to fuck her while she's away for the weekend. Kept going on and on. I wanted to do this civilly and figure out the truth, but it was coming out now. I said, at least I'm not actually fucking someone else. She was shocked and said, who am I fucking? I told her and she didn't know how to react. She said the same thing as before. I told you I've left him on read. But this time she said something different as well. How would you know I fucked someone else? Now, the choice of words here is critical. She isn't denying it, but wondering how I know. She knows I know about her texts, she knows I looked at them. But she wants me to admit that I snooped her phone and saw it so she could be pissed. I knew that too. She bit off more than she can chew though, 'cause I told her in full detail everything I read. She again was shocked and this time she burst into tears. Said I invaded her privacy. Well yes, I did. But if there was nothing to hide why would she care about why I was in her phone? Now she decided to be mean. She said, fine, if you think I'm cheating then I'm going to. Grabbed her going out outfits and stormed off to the bathroom to post thirst traps. She was in there for a while and I actually had to use the bathroom so I asked if I could. She let me in and when I went to the room, she was showing her true colors. She was smashing all my stuff that she could. Luckily I was recording it. She tried to call the police and where I live is supported by state police, double fucked. I told her to get the fuck out. Get out of my sight. She was trying to get things and I said, no, you want your shit. You come back with your dad to get it all. Her dad supports me BTW. She is his daughter but he supports me more as he knows what his daughter is doing and has been. These explosions are not uncommon. This morning she sent a text trying to take moral high ground. Breaking up with me for reasons she has. I told her exactly what the actual reason was. She tried to play off reasons that aren't even valid in this argument. She said she'd call me today when they worked out a plan, currently waiting. Really shit situation to be in but you dodged a bullet there. So glad you found out. Don't forget to give her a bill for the stuff she broke. Oof god damn cheaters man. Fucking trying to blame you for their fuck-ups. You dodged a huge bullet my guy. Congrats on getting rid of that trash. Do you want this type of childish behavior in your life or not? Always trust your gut. This is not a good person. Cheating is only recoverable if she is instantly remorseful. You dodged a bullet. Move on my man. You got smiled upon with this one. Be good. Props. She got too comfortable. Next time don't waste time on someone prone to emotional outbursts like these. Please call the police and show them the destruction of property so she gets some real consequences. Did my boyfriend's dad hit on me or am I reading into this too much? Hi, I'm 18 female. I've been dating my boyfriend who's 19 male for 5 years. We were friends since kindergarten, started dating during a field trip in middle school and have basically been inseparable since. My parents are a lot older than his. I'm in the middle of 9 kids. 2 older, 6 younger. He's an only child, and his parents had him really young, so his dad is only 36 and his mom is 43. Both of them felt like second parents to me. Going over his house was so nice. He has his own room, his parents leave us alone, he never has siblings eating an entire snack or meal I make for us before we even get a chance to eat it. It was like a sanctuary for me. Then last night I was leaving at like 2 a.m. Usually my boyfriend walks me to my car, but sometimes we fall asleep in the den. So I just leave quietly when I wake up since I can't sleep over because my mom needs me to help with my siblings in the mornings. His dad was out on the porch drinking a beer and smoking. I'd never seen him smoke before, but I sort of knew him and my boyfriend's mom were fighting since it seemed really tense during dinner. He seemed kind of drunk but whatever, so I was just like, have a great night, thanks for dinner. And he asked me, oh, leaving so soon? And I was like, well, it's 2 a.m. And he was like, yeah, but I've seen you stay up with boyfriend way longer. Why don't you sit and stay for a few? But I told him I had to watch my siblings in the a.m. And he said no problem and offered to drive me home, but I was like, no, my car isn't that far. Anyway, none of this was really weird until he offered me to smoke and I was like, no, I don't do that. And he just kind of laughed and was like, I know you and boyfriend were smoking weed earlier tonight. You don't need to keep it a secret from me. Then he offered me a beer and I said no again. So he was like, I'm sorry, I hope I'm not making you uncomfortable. But for some reason he decided to double down on the uncomfortableness because he was like, I just wanted you to know the other day I was thinking about what a beautiful young woman you've become. He told me he doesn't think my parents appreciate how much I do for them and told me if I wanted he could loan me some money if I wanted to get out and get my own place and that we could keep it on the DL so everyone would still think I did it on my own. So I was like, oh, that's nice, but I already have an apartment fund. Then he told me him and his friend were talking about me, not long after my birthday party last month. And they couldn't believe how I went from being so awkward when I first started dating boyfriend to how beautiful and gorgeous I am now. After that I just felt really weird. Like cornered kind of. So I was just like, okay, well, thanks, and ran to my car and left. But IDK if I'm overreacting and he was just being like a proud parent. I don't know if I'm reading into this too much. Please let me know before I tell my boyfriend something that seems accusatory about his dad. Thanks. So your BF's dad was 17 and the mom was 24 when she got pregnant with your BF? He was being completely inappropriate. These are grooming statements. Your parents don't understand you, but he totally understands you. You don't have to keep secrets from me. You can trust him. He would never say anything, he understands you. Your parents don't appreciate you. He wants you and him to have a secret together. Keep money on the DL, then you would owe him. Yuck. All of it. Trying to get you to be alone with him. Drink just with him. The comments on how beautiful you've become, how he and his buddies talked about you when you turned 18 aka legal. Just be aware and try never to be alone with him. Hopefully he was just drunk and lonely and speaking out of turn, but be wary. 45-year-old dad here. First part, came across as lonely dude stuck awake and wanting to talk. However, his first goal should have been making sure you're comfortable. I don't mean to sound rude, but you are a child-aged person in his home. As in he's old enough to be a dad to you, a young adult. If even Chatty put you on the defensive, he should have apologized and told you to have a good night. When it turned to compliments it turned bad. This was totally over the line. You aren't overreacting. Nope, he totally hit on you. Sounds very predatory. The dad is definitely being odd, especially having a conversation like that with his friend. No two grown men should be doing that. Definitely talk to your boyfriend and maybe his mom about what the dad said. It sounds like it. The alcohol does not excuse him. I would tell your boyfriend that his father made you very uncomfortable when he had been drinking, and that you want to be careful not to be around him when he is drinking in the future. Answer any questions he has about his dad's behavior. You don't have to comment on what you think his thoughts, motives or goals were. And tell your boyfriend you will be waking him up to walk you out to your car from now on. Your boyfriend's father is a sexual predator. Beware. Bruh, WTF. Should tell your boyfriend ASAP what the fuck happened, that's fucking nasty as fuck LMAO. No dad should be hitting on their fucking daughter or son's significant other. This some nasty ass shit, especially since it was fucking late as hell into the night. I'm a dude if that helps with perspective. Something is up with my daughter. My F13 daughter is not acting the same. So, recently, she came out to me asking to go to the doctors for help. She didn't want to say what it was. So I booked her a doctor's appointment and we went to the doctor's. She got diagnosed with anxiety and depression. She has told me she hasn't had any friends, and I know I sound like a shitmom saying this, but I didn't believe her. I thought she was exaggerating. But now, I understand and I regret it deeply. And then about a week ago, I caught her smoking weed. Weed. I was shocked. She has told me she's vaped once before, but full-on weed? I'm not anti-weed in any way, but this is not appropriate behavior. And the more I think about it, I realize how strange she has been acting for a while. She is constantly fluttering, or fidgeting with her hands, can't sit still, refuses to go outside without a full face of makeup on, and has expressed strange interests in things like guns and Nazi history, and is obsessed with the Russian language. She has had an extremely hard time staying awake, and has been just rude and distant to me and the rest of our family. Oh, and not to mention, when she was high she straight up told me she was gonna slit her wrists. To me, it sounds like she has undiagnosed autism, but my husband disagrees. Anyone have any ideas? 1 boundary. I'm not invading her privacy. Edit 2. People want me to search her room. Is reading her diary too far? Edit. Should have mentioned more about the autism correlation, social awkwardness, fidgeting, and special interest in war history. She's also very, very sensitive to music that she doesn't have full control over. She will cover her ears and cry. I probably should have mentioned that. Get her in to see a therapist. It could be anything, really. Can you get her into therapy sooner? If not, reach out to the school counselor. Your daughter needs an evaluation right away. She is having suicidal thoughts, so this needs attention now. Please do not rely on the pediatrician. I'm autistic and I see the connection. I stim all day, have social anxiety and an interest in syphilis. My brother is also autistic and he's really interested in Nazi history. However, none of us are diagnosticians and should refrain from armchair diagnosing. The daughter needs support, and if the OP questioning autism and assessment to either rule it out or confirm. Regardless, the kid needs a lot of support. I've been where this kid is, in terms of not knowing what's going with me and feeling isolated, and I don't envy her at all. When I was 13 and I started struggling to stay awake and developing special interests in bizarre topics, it's because I was being groomed by a myriad of creeps. I personally was seeking the attention out, but I was very good at hiding it. I met boys on Wattpad via my school laptop. School hadn't blocked Wattpad and my parents trusted them, on this random jokes app that used to be available on Android. Basically just a forum. And would download chat apps when my parents were asleep only to delete them before they woke up. I'm a strong advocate for respecting your child's privacy, but dude. Your kid is interested in guns and Nazis. They're in danger. Make sure she was not SAED. Honestly sounds a lot like me, to be honest. She probably neurodiverse in some way. I'd get her to see a younger therapist. Don't take her to an older one, they tend to be less understanding of young people's struggles. This is WAAAAAAAY above Reddit's paygrade. Your daughter needs to be seen by professional medical and mental health providers for any sort of diagnosis. Speculating is irresponsible at this point. She's 13. Invade her privacy FFS. It's literally your job to keep her safe. You need to find out if there is anything, or anyone behind this. Could be some really bad dude pulling her strings, so check her phone. Check her social media. She is 13. Still a child. Caught my boyfriend texting other girls. What do I do? I have been dating my boyfriend for 2.5 years. He's very supportive and constantly encourages me to be the best version of myself. He pushed me to quit my smoking addiction and go back to school for my dream career. He just finished med school. We decided to go on a trip to Europe to celebrate him finishing school. The only thing is, I found out he has been sexting with other girls our entire relationship. When I confronted him, he apologized profusely, and begged for us to work on our relationship. He even cried and gave me his phone password. He swears this whole thing changed his perspective and he's going to work on his addiction to validation. What do I do? At first I thought I would break up with him, but I don't want to. I really loved our relationship, and we complement each other well. But his craving for validation and his actions are shameful, and I'm unsure if I will ever be able to trust him again. I know I deserve better, but I kind of want to give him the opportunity to show me better. But on the same hand, I think about what he did and I feel so upset and just not attracted to him. But when I forget about it, I feel attracted to him. I'm just so perplexed. First, you are talking him up of all the great things he's done, So do you really want to hear what advice I have to offer here? Because you're not gonna like it. I feel like I'm trying to be convinced this guy is a doll who just made a little mistake here. No. Second. Your entire relationship? So now of course he was treating you so well. That's guilt. And then to apologize and bring on the tears and give passwords? Okay. He's only sorry he got caught. 2.5 years of sexting other women. Face with rolling eyes, face with rolling eyes, face with rolling eyes, face with rolling eyes, face with rolling eyes. Give me a break. I can't tell you what to do, but I know damn sure that if it were me finding out that my boyfriend had been sexting other girls for 2.5 years that we were together, I'd be packing my shit and leaving his ass. I deserve better. So do you. Translation. Your boyfriend being caught made you realize you cannot trust him. You're trying to ask us if you can find a way to trust him again, and we can't tell you that. He basically hid a large part of his life from you for 2 years, probably lied to you repeatedly about it, and only brought on the waterworks when he was caught. He wasn't honest with you. How do you know he won't just hide it better? What? You're supposed to police his activity with his own phone. That sounds exhausting, and you're going to end up looking controlling, jealous and insecure, because that's how you'll feel in a relationship with somebody you can't trust. Maybe give yourself a break away from him to think about what you want. Can be a week up to a month break. Because being around him won't help you decide, and he will try to keep convincing you to stay. So give yourself time to think what's the best decision for yourself. I don't know. This sounds like a problem for him. I would have broken up with someone for that, honestly. I would question everything we had together. The good times too. So it's been 2 weeks now since you found out. Think about how you're going to feel when he's not around. How you're going to feel if he's on his phone while you're watching TV together. How you'll feel if he tilts his phone screen away from you. Whether you're going to believe he's being transparent or whether you think he's going to just delete the messages. Because this is your life now. Your entirely relationship? He's been cheating on you for 2 years? Leave. Girl. I know you know what you need to do. I can tell from the way you write in your comments. Maybe you're too scared to actually do it, but you know deep down what you need to do.